Hello, it is I. Now Forza Horizon 5 has been out for just over 2 months now, and it's actually pretty decent. But regardless of how great a game is, there will always be things that you're not a big fan of, and Forza Horizon 5 is no exception. And that's where this video comes to play. Now before we get into this video, 4,000 likes is the target on this video. If we can hit that, then I'll buy an octopus and I'll name him Steven Gerrard. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Everybody thinks to MC tough, your lyrics must be about negative stuff.
Now, Event Lab creations were a brand new addition to Forza Horizon 5, which I think it's safe to say everybody loves. You can create some very unique tracks, like this Japan-inspired Toge Mountain Road, and even this insane Monaco replica made by Jumbo. But of course, there are a few problems. Number one, you cannot create them wherever you want. You either need to go to a certain race location, or playground game events which are in specific locations, which can ruin your creation as you cannot choose the place where you want to start your track from. Another problem is that there's no option for you to lock your track pieces into place. So if you're creating a dome like I did in my Squid Game video, the track ends up being very bumpy and glitchy. Now if you don't intend on locking the pieces together and you want to create a unique track, then this won't be a problem to you. But adding a setting where you can lock the pieces together would be a very nice addition. And finally, you cannot try certain Event Lab creations offline, which is so annoying. There are so many cool tracks like the Toge Mountain Road and Ebisu Circuit which I really want to try out, but the only way you can try these out is by joining a convoy, which I'm not a big fan of. So yep, I really hope that the devs can let us choose where we want to create our tracks, let us be able to lock certain pieces together, and also give us the option to try out Event Lab creations offline.
Just cause we come from the gutter and we know about scraping the bottom of the butter.
Now in Forza Horizon 5, the developers included a brand new feature which a lot of us have been requesting for years, which is for engine mods to change the sound of your car, which is brilliant. You also get to rev your engine whilst upgrading your car to fine-tune the exhaust note you want to achieve. But there is one small problem. The whole point of this feature is to compare the different sound that each exhaust system makes, but when you do rev your car, there's a glitchy silence when you're flicking through the parts. You see what I mean? So it's very hard to compare each exhaust note and pick out which one sounds best. I mean, you'd expect them all to load after you've gone through each one, but nope. There's still that weird glitchy silence when you flick through them. And this is footage from a high-end PC as well. This glitch is considerably worse on consoles, so I really hope that the developers fix this soon, so we can actually compare each exhaust note and properly fine-tune the sound of the car.
Who's gonna sign a guy with a shank? Or a guy with a knife?
A universal problem in all Forza Horizon games, which really grinds my gears, are offline Drivatars, as they are arguably the single most annoying thing in the world. Okay, I wouldn't go that far, it's not as annoying as cancer, but basically yeah, they are very annoying and I hate them very much. As sometimes when I go for a nice relaxing drive in the game, I get involved in a head-on collision with a Drivatar going on the wrong side of the road for no apparent reason. It's so annoying. Also, sometimes I'll be driving on the highway, then all of a sudden a Drivatar crashes through the barrier and directly hits me. It's like they're aiming for my car on purpose. They're honestly terrible. The amount of times I've had crazy skill checks broken by a stupid Drivatar crashing into me is unreal. Now I get that developers are trying to make the offline Drivatars act like how they do online, but what is the actual point in that? If I want to feel like I'm driving with online Drivatars, I'll actually drive with online Drivatars. When I'm cruising in Horizon Solo, I don't want random cars crashing into me. So I really hope that the developers can tame these offline Drivatars and stop them from crashing into you for no apparent reason.
To the beat. Just pop your head to the beat. If you don't want to.
Livery Editor is great. It's easy to use and you can create some banging designs. However, there are two problems which I'm not a big fan of. Number one, the letters and numbers. If you want to write something on your car, you'll need to get individual letters and line them up perfectly, which isn't a huge problem, but it can be massively streamlined by perhaps introducing a system like Need for Speed, where you can type out what you want the text to say, of which a vinyl layer with that text is created for you to put onto your car. This would be so much quicker than finding every individual character, lining it up and spacing them out evenly. Another problem is you can't share designs you've made where you used other people's stickers. Now I get that this is because of plagiarism and you can't take credit for someone else's design, so as a simple solution, why not demonetize these designs and give credit to the people's stickers you've used? There are so many designs I've made in Forza games which you lot love, but I can't share them because I've used other people's stickers to make them. So I really hope that sometime in the future, you'd be able to share designs you've made using other people's stickers.
dance or lean back, then bob your head to the beat. If you don't wanna.
Now in 2016, with the release of Forza Horizon 3, the game had a hidden feature which a lot of people didn't know about, which is the ability to adjust time of day, which was amazing. I mean, you couldn't literally adjust the time of day in the settings. First you had to create a bucket list event, then adjust the time of day in the event settings for that to work. But it was a very nice feature which I took advantage of a lot, as when filming videos I always make sure it's sunny and dry to make sure my videos look appealing. But ever since Horizons 4 and 3, you lost the ability to do that, meaning you're stuck in whatever weather and time of day the current world is set in, which is very annoying, especially knowing that it rains an unhealthy amount of times in Horizon Mexico. So I'm really hoping that the devs can reintroduce a method of adjusting time of day, and maybe even the seasons in Forza Horizon 5 as well, as that could not only make the videos much easier to make for content creators, but it could also benefit casual players in the game as well, because I'm sure a lot of us prefer driving when there is no rain.
You're not serious, don't say Chris, I say serious. You wanna get.
Now, as you may know, the only way to go online with your friends in Forza Horizon 5 is to join a convoy. Now this may sound like a good little system to get to explore Mexico with your friends, whilst bumping into other online players as well, but it can get a little bit annoying, as sometimes you just want to be with your mates. So I really hope that the developers in this game, or perhaps a future one, could dump the convoy system and replace it with a simple online lobby system like you see in games like Gran Turismo. This way it's so much easier to get your mates together in an online Forza session, and also you're not surrounded with strangers all the time either. Why is he's joining us? What's he doing? No, don't be nice. Don't say hi. Just tell it to fuck off.
Everybody says that garage should stop because it's cheap like Calypso or TikTok.
Now, one annoying thing with all Forza Horizon games is the sheer amount of drift zones, speed traps, and speed zones. Okay, now this may not sound like a problem, but I'm just not a fan of how they're executed. As let's say you're going for a quiet cruise in Horizon Mexico, but along your route is a drift zone, where you're either going to have to pull a U-turn and find another route, or drive off-road and avoid triggering the drift count. It shouldn't be this way. Same thing applies with speed traps and speed zones. There is a way to avoid triggering these, which is by driving below 30 miles per hour. But sometimes these speed cameras are on the highway, meaning you have to slow down to 30 on the highway. You don't do them things, man. So a simple fix would be to increase the speed at which speed cameras are triggered. I'd say up from 30 miles per hour to at least 100 for speed traps, whilst drift zones could actually receive a speed limit to trigger the drift counter, so you can easily avoid situations like this. It's a small fix which would go a very long way for the role-playing community in the Forza franchise.
How comes every single MC is vexed? Like
The Hall of Fame was introduced in Forza Horizon 5 to make you want to progress through the game, and it really did help. You can reach the Hall of Fame by collecting accolades from doing missions or buying certain cars, of which the accolade points rack up until you reach the Hall of Fame. Now this definitely sounds like a good idea, and it was, whilst it lasted. You see, this Hall of Fame thing is just way too easy. Now this isn't me trying to be big-headed. Honestly, I'm not the greatest Forza Horizon player of all time, as you may have seen in a certain Jack Ultramotive video.
Sending it to the ranch.
Oh, oh no!
But even I could reach the Hall of Fame within a couple of days. I mean, if you speedrun it, you could probably reach it within a couple of hours. You don't need to grind or try hard. It's so quick and easy to reach. Now, so this is because the audience of Forza games are very young players who want everything handed to them as quick as possible. But a simple solution could be for there to be levels above the Hall of Fame. So once you reach the Hall of Fame, certain accolade thresholds can promote you to a better Hall of Fame, with better and better perks the more you get promoted. That way, once you complete the game, there will actually be something for you to do, because the endgame in Forza Horizon 5 is pretty non-existent.
who spit lyrics like it's the worst day in his life. It's not serious.
Now, a problem with practically every video game out there is that there's no real endgame, as once you complete the storyline, there's nothing else to do. Thankfully, Playground Games made an attempt to resolve this issue by introducing the festival playlist, as when it was introduced back in Horizon 4, I thought it was brilliant. You could do fun little challenges to unlock certain rewards, like super wheel spins and even brand new cars. And as fun as this may have been for the first couple of seasons, it gets very repetitive and boring real quick. A lot of the challenges are things you've already done before, and a lot of the times the cars you're trying to unlock aren't even brand new cars. They're literally cars from the previous games which the developers have locked away so they seem new. But if you're an old Forza player, then you know that these are car models from as long as 2005. So my solution for fixing this problem is by adding online minigames. I saw Infected, Flag Rush and the Eliminator are already in the game, but I feel like the devs should prioritize more of the time on adding more of these online minigames. Perhaps city camouflage, assassination, British Bulldog, hide and seek, car football, or even cops and robbers. Come to think of it, how do we have a full-on stadium with a football and police cars but no use for either of them? It's such wasted potential. So Playground Games, if you are watching this video, we really appreciate the effort you put into changing the sound that the doors make in Forza Vista, but please add more of these online minigames, as that can massively increase the lifespan of this game. Also, if you lot have complaints about the game as well, make sure to leave them in the comments down below so we can have a discussion and hopefully help to fix the game with constructive criticism. And that's the end of the video. Hope you lot did enjoy. If you not enjoyed this video, that's a bit sad still. If you want to see more videos like this one, then make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 250k, so help your boy out. That was a weird noise. Thank you very much, and I'll catch up with you guys very soon. Until next time, have a good one, guys. Stay safe, stay inside. Until next time, cheers.
My dineros, what I'm out to get. Sombrero, I get hat and then I'm out again. Got an A1 Chica with a drive like a 3 litre. That's what she needs D4, like the outfit.